Hey, good morning, goal getters. This is Zachariah here, coming at you with 5 more tips for preparing for an interview. The first video I did mainly talks about presentation psychology and how to have an effective presentation when you first walk into a room. This video is going to be more geared toward what to do to prepare for the interview before you even show up. So let's go ahead and get started. Tip number 1. You want to research the history of the company or the organization you're applying for. Some recruiters or owners are going to ask you more questions about the history. Some will ask you less, but it's important that you know maybe when the company was founded, what their mission statement was that they were founded on, the tenets that they like to live by, and if you can, understand the company culture as much as you can before you go in there. That's a question you can ask them about as the interview proceeds, but if you can know that information before you walk in, you're going to increase your chances of impressing the interviewer. Number 2, you want to make sure that you do whatever you can to understand the fundamentals of the job you're applying for. So what I mean by that is, we'll use me as an example. I've been in a variety of sales roles since I've graduated from college. I've worked as a management trainee, I've worked as a sales consultant, I've worked as an account executive. All 3 of those positions do the exact same thing, and that is sell. A lot of times companies will have really fancy names for job titles, but really they should just say you're a salesperson for them, you're a representative. You represent the company well and you're trying to make them more money. That is just my experience. Depending on the job that you're applying for, there could be a whole other set of fundamentals that you're looking for, but chances are there's going to be some degree of selling, whether you're selling the company's reputation or the services in whatever job that you're doing. I've yet to meet one person who is working right now who doesn't have some level of salesmanship in their position. Mine just tend to be very heavily sales focused. So go on LinkedIn, go on a Reddit, subreddit, and find some blogs online. Do whatever you can to find out what it is that will be required of you in that job. Even if you can ask somebody, if you have a buddy who works there at the job, or a friend at church, or a family member, anybody you can who might have worked in a similar position as you, go ahead and speak to them and find out what the challenges are and what they've enjoyed about the job. So that way you can speak to that with some level of credibility and knowledge before you even have to ask the recruiter or the person interviewing you about that. It's going to show that you've done your research and that you take this job seriously. This brings me to number 3. You want to prepare substantive questions for your interviewer. In doing so, if you have really good open-ended questions that are going to get some good information out of them, which, by the way, they want to give you good information. They want you to ask because that shows that you're somebody, again, who takes the job seriously and did their research. But questions such as, what are the toughest hurdles that people in my position have when they first start working here, say in the first 6 months? That's a great question to ask an interviewer. Another question, what are the biggest factors of success that contribute to people moving up and really excelling at this position? Could you talk me through your personal list of success factors? Asking that question is something I generally always do. One, it gives me an edge on the competition because then I know going in to either the next level of interview or going into that job what it is I need to focus on and what the biggest hurdles are. You can incorporate your own questions. Those are just a couple that I've always used. One ace in the hole that I always like to throw in if I'm uncertain if I'm going to be moved on, be accepted for the position. I will generally say in some way or another, is there anything that you'd like to know about me or my background that I've yet to cover in this interview that you would need to know to move me forward? And ask them that and get quiet. Okay, you ask that question, you shut your mouth, and usually they'll give you an answer like, oh, no, I appreciate you saying that. But no, I think you've answered everything. That's generally what I've gotten. But asking that question is going to let them know that you're hungry. It's going to let them know that you're not afraid to put yourself out there or to ask for feedback, because that's essentially what you're saying to them is, have I fallen short anywhere of making you feel comfortable to pass me on to the next level. Number 4 is role play. I'll be quick on this one. You want to find anybody close to you who you feel comfortable role playing your interview with. Have them ask you some tough questions. Maybe draw up a few questions that you think your interviewer will ask you, and have them ask you those questions. If you don't have somebody, practice looking in the mirror and make sure you look yourself in the eye. That's going to be very critical. Lastly, number 5, practice your nonverbals and prepare an interview outfit. I'll prepare a separate video on how to prepare an interview outfit for the gentlemen specifically. I don't know too much about women's attire. But for now, I'll just say you want to have your shirt cleaned, pressed. You want it fitting around the neck. You don't want the shirt sleeves too long. You want your jacket to fit with not too much fabric or not enough. You want the inseam of your pants to fall naturally on your shoes. You don't want it to bunch up at the bottom, and you don't want them to be high water, so to speak. And the last piece of that is to practice your nonverbals. Be confident. When you're looking at them, stand squarely. You want to look them in the eye. You don't want to be doing a lot of moving around or fidgeting. So that's going to wrap us up for today, Goal Getters. If you like this video, please like it. Share it with somebody you know who's graduating from college, graduating from high school, entering the job force. And let's keep on prospecting. Thank you.